this video, we're looking at simplifying fractions using fewer steps. If we want to simplify 6/12ths, rather than keep dividing by 2 or dividing by 3, we can say, how can we do this in one step? How many times does the numerator go into the denominator? 6 goes into 12 twice. That means that 6 is half of 12. If the numerator is half of the denominator, you have a half. So 6/12ths is the same as a half. Here we have 5/15ths. How can we simplify that in one step? How many times does 5 go into 15? 5 goes into 15 3 times, so 5 is a third of 15. If your numerator is a third of the denominator, the fraction is a third. How about 6/30ths? How many times does 6 go into 30? 6 goes into 30 5 times, so 6 is a fifth of 30. If the numerator is 1/5 of the denominator, you have a fifth. Here are some for you to try. Pause the video, simplify 9/18ths. How many times does 9 go into 18? It goes in twice, so 9 is half of 18, so 9/18ths is the same as a half. Pause the video, simplify 6/18ths. How many times does 6 go into 18? It goes in 3 times, so 6 is a third of 18. 6/18ths is 1/3. Simplify 4/20ths. Pause the video, have a go. How many times does 4 go into 20? It goes in 5 times, so 4 is a fifth of 20. That means that 4/20ths is the same as 1/5. Here's one more to try. 9/27. Pause the video and have a go at simplifying that. How many times does 9 go into 27? It goes in 3 times, so 9 is a third of 27. They're not all as straightforward as that. To simplify 12/18, 12 doesn't go into 18, and you can see from the diagram with the chocolate drops that it's more than half. So we're going to have to use our knowledge of the common factors of 12 and 18. And we've got to find the biggest one, the highest common factor of 12 and 18. Well, they share a factor of 1. They share a factor of 2 because they're both even. They're both in the 3 times table, so they share a factor of 3. 12 has a factor of 4, but 18 doesn't. Neither of them has a factor of 5. They do share a factor of 6. If we just keep going here so you can see how this works, they don't share a factor of 7 or 8. 18 has a factor of 9, but 12 doesn't. They don't have 10 or 11, and then we're at 12, and we've already established that 12 won't go into 18. The highest common factor of 12 and 18 is 6. So we can divide both numbers by 6. 18 divided by 6, that's 3. 12 divided by 6, that's 2. And you can see that 2/3 can't be simplified any further. 12/18ths is the same as 2/3. Here's one for you to try. Simplify 12/16ths, finding the highest common factor of 12 and 16. Pause the video, have a go. They share a factor of 1. They're even, so they share a factor of 2. 12 has a factor of 3, but 16 doesn't. They do share a factor of 4, and if we kept going, we would find that 4 is the highest factor 12 and 16 share. we're going to divide them both by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 12 divided by 4 is 3. So 12/16 simplified is 3/4. Here's one for you to try. Simplify 12/30, finding the highest common factor of 12 and 30. Pause the video, have a go. They share a factor of 1, they're even, so they share a factor of 2. They're both in the 3 times table, so they share a factor of 3. They don't share a factor of 4 because 30 isn't a multiple of 4. 30 is a multiple of 5 but 12 isn't. They do both share a factor of 6. If we kept going, we would find that we can't get a bigger factor than 6. So 6 is the highest common factor of 12 and 30. So we're going to divide numerator and denominator by 6. 30 divided by 6 is 5. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 12/30 simplified is 2/5. And we can't simplify that any further. Sometimes you need to find the highest common factor that you know. We tend to assume that most people have learned their multiplication and division facts up to 12 multiplied by 12. Not many people would know how many times 16 goes into 48. So what you do is just use as few steps as you can. 16 and 48 share a factor of 1. They share a factor of 2. They don't share 3, but they do share 4. Not 5, 6 or 7, but they do share a factor of 8. And if we kept going, we would find that 8 is the highest factor before we get to 12. We're going to divide them both by 8. 48 divided by 8 is 6. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 2/6, we can simplify that further. We can divide both numerator and denominator by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 2 divided by 2 is 1. You wouldn't necessarily know that 16 goes 3 times into 48. If you did know that, congratulations. And here's a similar one for you to try. Simplify 18 over 72. Use the highest common factor of 18 and 72 that you know. Pause the video, have a go. They share 1, they share 2, they share 3. They do share 6. They both share 9. They don't share 10 or 11. 72 is a multiple of 12, but 18 isn't. So up to 12 times 12, the highest factor we know of is 9. So I'm going to divide them both by 9. 72 divided by 9 is 8. 18 divided by 9 is 2. And as you can see, 2/8 can be further simplified to 1/4. 18 goes into 72 4 times.